But moving to this story, the NUM has confirmed that 50 mine workers still remain underground. The union has accused the mining company Sibanye-Stillwater of being arrogant and refusing to address workers' demands. Let's get the latest from Newzroom Afrika's Zola, Sholwana, who is at the mine. Zola, thank you so much for joining us. You've been there since the crack of dawn. The numbers have already drastically decreased from initially that 200, and now we're sitting at about 50. Is that correct?
Certainly, Massa. This was confirmed by the National Union of Mine Workers in a chat that we had earlier on, saying that there are some workers that were underground that returned to surface this morning. Right behind me, there's currently an engagement by AMCU addressing their members. As you'd understand, that yesterday most of the workers were complaining that they feel like they're fighting this battle alone and they are not being backed up by their unions that are meant to be in the forefront and also, be updating them about engagements that they're having with the mine, which is Sibanye-Stillwater. As we understand that there's been a number of engagements that have been happening between these unions and the mining company. It doesn't look like the workers are pleased with what they're being told, but let's start by speaking to the National Union of Mine Workers Regional Secretary. So thank you very much for your time. If you could just tell us, firstly, confirm the numbers of the people that are underground and also speak to, how the mine, has been supporting these workers. As you'd understand that out of frustration, they've been saying the unions have not been present.
Thank you for having us once more. In our earlier chat, we had indicated that almost 50 workers remained underground, but the latest report is that 19 of them have resurfaced, which takes the total number of workers still underground to 31 males. We must indicate that there hasn't been any support from management with regard to that effect, and then we're still saying we put the blame right at the door of management in terms of how they dealt with the matter. We indicated earlier that instead of them going to the root cause of the whole thing, they opted to issue workers with intentions to dismiss, which is something that we're going to fight as the trade unions, because it is our duty to make sure that the job security of our workers is taken care of. So we are saying we are going to engage Sibanye, arrogant as they are. We are going to continue engaging them and make sure that the issues that the workers are raised, which are genuine in our own view, should be addressed rather than taking a posture that says you are defensive in terms of trying to address that, but rather go to the root cause and say what has prompted workers to take this stance. And once you've dealt with that, then you can address those issues genuinely without threatening workers with dismissals. That we're going to fight tooth and nail.
Understanding that you have held previous engagements with Sibanye-Stillwater, what was the outcome of the meeting? Is there some sort of direction, perhaps?
No, the earlier discussions were mainly focused on getting workers underground based on the health and safety concerns that they have. But earlier in the morning, they indicated that they would call us to a meeting. We're still awaiting that call so that we come and address these issues. But of importance is that health and safety of workers must come first and make sure that these workers that remain underground, at least they are catered for, and we make sure that these issues, they are addressed.
Speaking about catering for those workers that remain, the 1 workers that are still underground at this point, have you been able to maybe perhaps access them and provide them with food and water while they're still underground?
Well, it remains the responsibility of the company because these are their premises and these are their employees. And they are duty-bound to make sure that the health and safety of these workers is their responsibility, is their main priority. As things stand, we don't see them doing that, and we want to condemn that. And we are saying, let these workers' issues be addressed. Irrespective of the platform that they took in terms of addressing these issues, it should be about stakeholders addressing that, not these workers, because the issue that they are raising are very genuine, irrespective of the platform that they choose. It is upon stakeholders to make sure that how are these things addressed.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. That was the NUM Regional Secretary essentially saying that workers' issues should be addressed by the company, which was Sibanye-Stillwater, and also saying that they demand that there is a way forward to this issue, understanding that there are still some workers, 31 mine workers, that are underground conducting a sit-in and hoping that their sacrifices will perhaps yield positive results at a later stage. Masa will be engaging with AMCU as well and find out what they have been hearing from their side or the outcomes of the meetings that they've been having with Sibanye-Stillwater. Back to you in studio.
Thank you so much for that update. We look forward to more from you, Zola. Really appreciate it.